Okay, Julian. This is the headlight. I'm going to show you. If you use a screwdriver and you twist it, you're not going to see almost any change whatsoever. It's just going to take a long, long time. I mean, you can see the gap here between the reflector bucket and the trim. It's just not going anyplace. Okay. But if you take a drill, okay, I don't know how many. This is an 18 volt something. I don't know how many RPM this is. But if you do this, you'll notice. You can see there's a lot of change there. Same thing over here with the side adjusters. Same thing. Now I usually do it in short spurts like that. I don't just hit it and let it go. I do it in short spurts until I get it where I want. And same thing on this side. So on this side, counterclockwise, let's see. The drill is going clockwise, makes it go down. Counterclockwise will raise it back up. Okay, let's check this headlight. Counterclockwise should make it go back up. It is. Counterclockwise back down. Okay, so that's what you want to do. Now, if that doesn't get you far enough, okay, you want to look into these little guys. These are called Ideal Spacers. You can get them at any hardware store. As you can see, they're sort of little Lego kind of stackable kind of things. What you can do, okay, is you can stack them up together, kind of like that, and they stack together a little better. There we go. So you can stack them up kind of like that. You can do it to however thick you want. You can just keep going. What you can do is on the side of the headlight down here, where these lower mounts are, you can put these between the back of the mount and the car. And what that'll do is as you add more down here, it'll prop the headlight up. Okay. So if you can't get these high enough, one of the problems with retrofits is that the projector can make contact with the front of the lens, so it limits the range that these can move. So even though like these without projectors can move a lot, with a projector in there, it might not be able to move as much. So what you want to do is you want to try, if you can't get it high enough like this, you want to try to prop it up a little bit like this from underneath using these spacers. And then you use these adjusters for fine-tuned adjustments once you get it quite right. So those are kind of two strategies to check. Another thing to note on the adjusters here is that these two adjusters work in tandem. Okay, essentially there's a rod that goes back through here. It connects up here somewhere, and what happens is as you turn this, it pulls this in or out. Now, obviously, if you have two rods here, okay, one over here, one over here, you have them both up there. Let's say they're right here, and you start pulling this one back. Okay, you're going to put tension on this one. This is a ball and socket, and ball joint kind of thing. So if you pull this one back, you're going to put tension on this, okay, because you're pulling this back, and this isn't moving. Likewise, if you pull this one back, and you start to tilt the face of the projector back, you're going to put tension over here. So you have to make sure that when you pull one back, okay, as you pull the face of the reflector, if you slant it back and forth, you have to make sure that the other adjuster, that you're also relieving tension on those. So it's not the kind of thing where you want to just pull this one all the way back as far as you can. If you pull this one back a bunch, okay, and you tilt the reflector up this way, okay, you also want to bring this one back too, so that you relieve the tension over here. So that's just something to keep in mind. That might be in your owner's manual, it might not be, but you want to keep that in mind so that you don't pop that adjuster out the back of that one. So again, just doing small little bursts with the drill. You don't have to do it a lot, just small bursts. You can add a lot of height, and if that doesn't get you far enough, then you just want to add a couple spacers, or you can do washers too if you want. I like the spacers because they're easy to use. You just stack them to however high you need them. Which I think is easy. In a pack of like 100 of these things is like $5 at Home Depot or Lowe's or something. So I like these because they work well, for this application. So between those two things, you should be able to get it to the proper height. Since yours are really low, some other things you might want to check. Okay, I'm gonna pull this out. you want to look in here too, and down here on the bottom. Flip this over. There's this little tab right here. Okay. If you can, you want to check this. If you can loosen this, and if you can pull it out, like straight out, all the way out, then that means that's a problem, and that's broke. You want to look at that. It goes in the other side. It goes through this back panel. It goes down, and it connects to a little socket, and you can feel it actually, or you can see it through the side. I don't know if you can picture it here. Wires in the way. Let's see. You can kind of sort of see it going through down there. Maybe it's a little tough. I don't know if I can read the picture. There you go. You can kind of see it going through there and connecting into that socket. So sometimes these can break in shipping. You know, if your package had a rough trip, so you want to check that. You also want to take a look over here at the top, and you can see there's another socket, ball and socket up here where my finger is. Back there, so there's one in there. You want to make sure that's intact, and then last but not least, there's one in the middle too. So really, all three of these, if you can move this, like as you can see here, I can't really move this assembly around at all. It's in there, right? So if you can flop it around, then that's a problem. It means one of these three things broke in shipping. So you want to check on that as well, just to make sure. But otherwise, doing those three things should really get you where you need to go with this. So I'll leave this for you, and you let me know.